The whole world seems to be obsessed with this airline. Founded just a few years ago, Starlux, the new Taipei-based luxury airline, has taken the flying public by storm. Everyone seems to think this airline is the best thing since sliced bread. I mean, I love sliced bread, but surely they can't be that game-changing. Or can they? Today, I'm sharing my opinion as a decade-long airline reviewer as I take my first ever Starlux flight. Just slightly overdue. This will be a journey of highs and lows, 40,000 feet highs to be exact, with one of the most unexpectedly fun in-flight amenities I have ever seen. Welcome to the final video in my comparison series between the three great Taiwanese airlines, China Airlines, EVA, and Starlux. This is the newest and flashiest airline of the three, so surely they're the best, right? Good morning, it's another day in Taipei and I am about to hop on board the newest luxury airline in the world. It's a beautiful day to leave Taipei. Starlux operates out of both Terminal 1 and Terminal 2, with my flight leaving from Terminal 2 today, sort of. The inter-Asian Starlux check-in area is located all the way at the end of the concourse, but I actually stopped short of using it. So I went to the check-in counter to try to get a boarding pass as a souvenir, because Starlux has quite cool boarding passes. I have my mobile one already, but when I scanned it, it said my passport doesn't match my booking, which doesn't make any sense. So I'm not gonna risk doing anything at the check-in counter. I'm just gonna head straight through security and then deal with that later on. I can't wait to fly Starbucks brand new A330neo, guys. As I get to security, I'm slightly concerned about the length of this line, and not gonna lie. Should I have gone to Terminal 1 instead? When you call Taipei Airport efficient, that is no joke. You saw that crazy line for security? Well, it took 10 minutes to pass all the way through that, clear security and immigration, and now I'm on the other side. That is amazing. So now let's find the Starlux Galactic Lounge. So here's the deal. Taipei Airport is confusing because they have two separate terminals that are actually sort of the same building. That means you can access all the same gates through either terminal, but in my experience, Terminal 1 is a little less hectic. Unlike Terminal 1, where Starlux has a tiny lounge though, Terminal 2 houses their flagship Galactic Lounge. How cool does this look? I feel like I'm gonna run into the Emperor in here. The entry door looks straight out of Star Wars or Dune. I love it. Upon entering, there are lockers, which the staff encouraged me to use because I guess I'm not traveling light as per usual. This isn't a big lounge by any means, but as you'll see, it stretches across 2 floors. Up here we have the main seating area where each table has built-in charging. Thank you Starlux for living in 2025 with the rest of us. The main buffet is also located up here. For the skinny folks, there is a salad bar with some rather unusual salad ingredients like okra and pineapple. Beyond that, there are rotating Taiwanese wieners and loads of juicy buns. No, seriously, these buns look delicious. There are only 4 other hot dishes, but hey, at least the chicken is polite by greeting us in Spanish. Hola, soy chicken, soy Dan. International food just like you find in a spaceship, in other words. There's also a little dessert display, as well as some alcohol, a coffee machine, and a fridge with some cool drinks. I grabbed some I am chicken, a brown sugar bun, and lemonade before settling down and scanning the QR code to see what else is on offer. Starlux offers a la carte in addition to the buffet. As you can see, it's breakfast time with a nice and semi-diverse food selection. The drink selection, on the other hand, I order a taro and soy floss sandwich, and let's just say this is dangerously tasty, like anything that contains taro, in my humble opinion. After gobbling that down while catching up on some Earthling Ed, I descend to explore the bottom floor. This turns out to be kinda random. It's great to have more space, but it's more of the same as upstairs, just with a slightly smaller food selection, like a lack of rotating wieners. The toilets down here are pretty cool though. I'm not showing the toilet just after talking about wieners on purpose, just to be clear. Anyway, that's it. Taipei sadly isn't the place for exciting lounge amenities, and this is no exception. Well, if you don't count the spaceship design as something that makes it worth visiting, because that is at least pretty freaking cool. I'm pretty sure Taiwanese Princess Leia is hiding behind one of these doors, so I better practice my Chinese. Remember how I mentioned the terminal can be a little bit confusing earlier? Well, it turns out my flight is actually leaving from a gate in Terminal 1, despite being a Terminal 2 flight. Proves my point about this being a confusing airport in some ways. I complete my 20-minute walk from the lounge and arrive at my gate 5 minutes before boarding to see our aircraft is just being towed in. Uh-oh. Oh boy, is she a stunner though. No surprise, boarding ends up being delayed 45 minutes. Okay, let's do this. Boarding was delayed. First they said it would be 9:40 from 8:55, but luckily they moved it forward to 9:20, so let's go. We're about to hop on board, but guys, what if you could fly Starlux business class within Asia for $300 each way? That's a pretty incredible price, right? And don't skip, because wherever you live in the world, you can do this easily. I know so many of you dream of flying business class, but you think it's unachievable because it's too expensive. But even if you want to try it on just a few hour flight within Asia on an incredible airline like Starlux, you can do it for so much less than you'd think. Now I teach you guys how to do that, how to save between 20 and 80 or 90% off first and business class flights through my Points Master program. And here's the important part. One of my rare sales, the spring sale of 2025, was supposed to end today, but I have extended it for 24 hours. So you have through April 17th to join Points Master and save $252, meaning you'll get Points Master for the lowest price it has ever been available for. If you want to learn how to save so much on flights while also saving on the program, you need to do it in the next 36 hours or so from this video being published. So scan the QR code right here, right now. Don't miss out, or go to the link at the top of the description. It is the best way to transform your travels within sometimes a matter of hours. And of course, it's also the best way to support my unbiased self-funded reviews so I can keep on making these videos for you guys. It's always fun flying a relatively new aircraft type, even more so on a relatively rare airline. So welcome to the Starlux Airbus A330neo, one of just 3 different aircraft types in their fleet. This aircraft is used exclusively on intra-Asian flights with economy and business class cabins offered. There are 28 business class seats here spread between door 1 and 2 in a 1-to-1 layout. Seats are staggered, meaning you'll want to select the seats closer to the windows most of the time, but not always, as you're about to see on board. Starlux has 2 lavatories for 28 business class passengers for a lavatory ratio of 14 passengers per toilet. There's something really cool I have to show you in there too, so let's hop on board. This is one nice looking cabin. The seats look so clunky, I love it. The bulkhead seats have a fantastic amount of leg space, so those might be worth snagging if you can. Specifically, 2 kilo is definitely the best seat in this whole cabin. Welcome to the back and my seat 7 Alpha. Let's settle in. Okay, welcome on board. The crew just offered to open my blanket for me, which is pretty impressive. This is so soft. And oh my gosh. Can I take this with me on my travels? If I was a tech reviewer, I would say this is a high-tech seat. But I'm an airline reviewer, so I'll just say, yay, USB-C. Yay, wireless charging. Yay, a great locker with lots of storage. I'm also a huge fan of the tray table since it doesn't get in the way and allows you to easily leave while using it. Our massive 4K screen is calling me to peruse the entertainment selection, which is pretty on par with most Taiwanese airlines, aka not so good, but not so bad. Something everyone will love though, they have Bluetooth connectivity so you can use your own headphones. Finally, AirPods Max users will be able to show off Inflight too. As I'm exploring that, the lovely flight attendant taking care of me comes by with our pre-departure drink tray. Okay, a little teeny tiny hotel, but we love it. It's served on a tray and some guava and pineapple juice. We end up pushing back 25 minutes behind schedule, which isn't bad. I wonder if Starlux feels intimidated over here at Terminal 2 with so much EVA around.
Hey! Hey! How y'all doing?
Their safety video continues the surreal space vibe, and I really like that they go all the way in on this concept. I forgot to show you this earlier, but their lounge staff even wears spaceship maintenance worker outfits, whatever that's supposed to look like. So do their ground handlers. Taipei Airport is busy as always at this time of day, so it's another 30 minutes before we finally blast off toward Thailand. I am so happy today, guys. Flying a new airline to one of my top 3 countries in the world, it almost doesn't get better than this. We made it. I'm on board Starlux. We just took off and I am so excited. The whole rear of the cabin is quite empty, so I'm even considering moving one seat back. Although it's closer to the aisle, the privacy does not make a difference here because there's no one in these rows, and it gives me a little more space between me and other passengers, meaning that I won't be disturbing them. I mean, I usually talk like I'm whispering. It sounds like it's loud, but if you heard me in the cabin, you would hopefully have no idea I'm talking. So anyway, let's settle in and enjoy the flight. I am so curious to see what the in-flight experience will be like. Before I do that, I decide to recline and check out the bed. Keep in mind that this is strictly a regional product and the A330 is the narrowest widebody on the market at the moment. Hence, this isn't the perfect business class bed, but a bed is a bed, so don't complain, Dan. I'm not. I love it. The footwell is impressively large for this seat type, which helps with my big feet at least. I've been trying to decide when to show you this, but there's no reason to diddle-daddle. Welcome to Starlux lavatories. These are lovely. Greenery is always a great way to spruce things up, but the real magic is the toilet paper. Oh my god. How and where can I order these? Single coolest thing on this flight without a doubt. Not only that, but the crew keep the lavatories spotless throughout the flight, folding the toilet paper into a triangle every time someone has used it. Meanwhile, US carriers talk about being premium. Ha! Alright, welcome to 8 Charlie. So they actually don't call this an alpha seat, A seat, 8 Charlie. And I have to say, I actually prefer this seat in a way. Although you're a bit further from the window, in this case it happens to be a good thing because the sun is really shining in. So when you were sitting so close, it was kind of burning, but here you get a bit more distance from that. I also feel, ironically, since the seat next to me is a bit closer to the aisle, it actually ends up being a bit more private sitting here due to how the seats are staggered. While in that seat, even though it's closer to the window, it felt like if there was someone sitting next to me, I would have definitely been able to see them. Well, here, that's not the case. The crew aren't kidding around with the service today, so we need to hurry back and check out our menu before the meal starts. These are extensive. I don't think I've ever seen so many courses detailed on a 4-hour flight. If that's impressive, the drink list blows that out of the water. I've definitely never seen such a large drink selection on a flight this length. Good luck trying everything before landing. Should we make that a challenge? The Starlux challenge? How about we call it the Starbucks challenge, just to confuse people? To talk quickly about this service, it has been fantastic so far. The purser welcomed us on board by name, just like they do on all Taiwanese airlines, which is absolutely incredible on such a short flight. You know, they come to our seat, welcome us on board. Then we have our dedicated flight attendant who does the same, gives you a tour of your seat, just how it should be on a top airline. 40 minutes after takeoff, the crew served my drink, and just a minute after that, my meal. This looks delish, right? All right. Let's start our experience, our Starlux experience with the green tea mocktail. Nice. If you don't already know, I am a bubble tea fanatic. Bubble tea is my favorite drink, has been for almost a decade. And the thing is, Starlux is famous for having bubble tea on board, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, bubble tea originates in Taiwan. So I was so excited. I've been thinking about it for weeks. I can't wait to see the bubble tea. I wonder how they make it. Do they use frozen pearls that they thaw in the galley? What do they do? Well, apparently they don't have bubble tea on this flight. So I asked what flights have it. oh, the flights to Japan, for example, have it. And I'm like, but what's the logic of that? This flight is longer, just a little bit longer than the flights to Tokyo or Osaka, for example. So how come they can have bubble tea there, but they don't have it here? But my meal looks delicious. Also, some other disappointing news for my review is that I asked if I could get a picture, as I always say, can I get a little photo of the other meal options? They allowed me to do that on China Airlines and on EVA, but unfortunately here they said that won't be possible, which is obviously really disappointing because I wanted to show you guys some of the other options from the menu, but we'll have to be satisfied with what I've been served today, which, yeah, I cannot wait to dig in. I'm so hungry. Even though the lounge food was great, I'm ready for more. What a morning of eating. Between this and the lounge food, I'll need some of Starlux's 0Gs to be able to move after this flight. The meal was tasty as expected. I've never had a bad meal out of Taipei. Now it's time for dessert. We have some fruit and a coconut red bean mochi, which sounds like my idea of a nice dessert. Red bean is a favorite, coconut is a favorite, so that combination, what could go wrong? Needless to say, yum. To round off the meal, another hot towel on a tray. Hot towels on tray just hit right where they're supposed to hit. At this point, I discovered that there's an in-flight magazine. Criminal I didn't see it earlier, so of course, I immediately turned to the route map. Nice. The fleet page is of course another essential. I love the detail, love the consistency. Starlux really ate with their fleet choices. The fact they sell every aircraft type they have in several different size models on board. As is common in this region, we have to navigate around some weather, so our flight time is a little bit longer. Side note, don't you love that expression, some weather, as if any weather isn't some weather? Okay, I know what you're thinking now. Dan, how is the flight so far? What do you think? Well, the good news is there is free Wi-Fi, which is absolutely fantastic, of course, for the whole flight. And that has allowed me to do some Googling on Starlux to compare other routes like Taipei to Singapore, Taipei to Tokyo, to see how the experience compares. I haven't been able to find any written reviews from this year, so based on last year, it seems like you used to be offered slippers, which I haven't been offered on this flight. I don't know if that's a fluke, but it doesn't really matter. I've now confirmed through several reviews that Starlux just does one meal service with the drink, so they don't do an initial drink service with nuts like you get on EVA and China Airlines. They just serve everything at once on the tray, which is fine. And of course, for a 3.5-hour flight, that was more than an adequate amount of food. It was delicious. So yeah, I'm just gonna sit back, enjoy myself the rest of the way to Bangkok, and hopefully get a little bit of work done. Work? I say eat and drink, my stomach says, so I order an iced green tea. Although I don't ask for it, this is sweetened and delicious. The nuts I was missing after takeoff are served shortly after this. Interesting order to do things, but I don't mind one bit. At the top of descent, the purser comes by to thank everyone for flying Starlux and hand out candies and randomly but epically playing cards. Don't mind if I do. Wow, so we're approaching Bangkok already. Again, such a quick flight, which is very sad. But what's amazing is that we're now at 7,500 feet. The Wi-Fi still works, so I can use it to track all types of flights on Flight Radar, of course including ours, to see what's in front of us, what's behind us. And funnily enough, an EVA 777 that took off 10 minutes behind us is landing right in front of us. I'm like, when did they overtake us? But anyway, I am most curious and excited. This has nothing to do with Starlux, but today, Bangkok Airport just unofficially opened their brand new third runway. I come to Bangkok all the time, so I land here often, but it would be so exciting to get to be one of the first people in the world to land on the new runway, so I'm hoping that that is how this flight is going to end. Let's see. People often think of the Middle East as the epicenter of high-quality airlines, but I believe East Asia has them beat. The hospitality, the quality, my gosh, living in this region is a frequent flyer heaven, especially for people based in Southeast Asia since Taiwan is pretty close to connect through. Not only is this my first time on the new runway, obviously, but also my first time arriving at the satellite terminal, which I feel lucky to have avoided until now. I bid farewell to the crew, spot a couple of slippers on the way out, and head into BKK, baby. All right, in the taxi on the way into the city now. I'm so excited to be here, but I think I might be getting a cold, which is not only mildly concerning, it's very concerning. So we'll see what implications that has for all of my upcoming plans. But I just want to talk quickly about Starlux and my overall impression. I've been reading some more reviews of them while I've been in the taxi, and my conclusion, I feel, is that there has been some cost cutting. I saw reviews where they used to serve an amuse-bouche, where they would serve meals by course, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore on these shorter flights within Asia. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, this was my first flight on Starlux. That said, even though there is cost cutting, it is still an incredible experience. I really don't think it was better than EVA or China Airlines. It was about on par, which means it was top-notch, 10 out of 10 recommend. But I was kind of expecting Starlux to be the clear standout, the one that was clearly better, which didn't end up happening. So I guess that's positive news, because for China Airlines and EVA, they're in SkyTeam and Star Alliance, which is more useful than an alliance-less airline as well. So that's Starlux for you. Guys, one final reminder that you can save $252 on my Points Master program for a very limited time. You have about 36 hours from the time this video goes up through April 17th. Check it out at the QR code right here or at the link below. You don't want to miss this sale because there won't be another one anytime soon. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And until I see you all in my next video, hopefully very soon, fly safe.